Hi everyone, I'm here with Sabrina Macias, who is the head of communications at DraftKings. Sabrina and I are gonna play a game, and we're gonna bet how much are we willing to say that we're gonna accomplish some goals we each have.
So I want to have an Airbnb in Puerto Rico. This much.
Okay, I'm gonna take all my reds, and I'm gonna bet that I am going to meet and have a special moment with Oprah.
That's a good one.
Heyo, I'm looking at you.
I definitely want to make it to C-suite one day.
Yes.
So
I just want to tell you, like, if I had a ton of chips right now, I would be betting on you getting to the C-suite. No question. I am gonna bet that I'm gonna double the size of Likeable.
I definitely want my son to graduate from college debt-free.
I love that. I want to do the same for my girls and my son.
Absolutely.
We're totally gonna do it.
Absolutely. Yes. I have faith in us.
One of my favorite stories about you is about when you bet on yourself by leaving a job with no plan in place. Tell me about that story.
I had just moved to New York. I moved for a job in the music business. It was a very male-oriented business. I didn't really know what I was gonna do exactly, but I knew that I didn't want to be in that environment anymore.
And you were just done.
Yeah.
What was the internal reaction? Did you panic? Did you?
A little bit.
Okay.
I mean, I was living paycheck to paycheck
Right.
in New York City. I did have a computer at home, so I started emailing pretty much all the contacts that I made throughout the time that I was working there. It happened to work out. I don't know if it does for everybody. I think risk is healthy. I think it makes you more creative. If you don't do things because you're scared to fail, I feel you're not really getting the best out of yourself.
When you're young, it is the time to figure out what you like and what you don't, and what you'll tolerate and what you won't. So when you're in a job and the space, you don't feel that it's designed for you, what do you do?
See an opportunity, raise your hand and say, hey, how about this? I remember when I first started at one of our agencies, there was probably 3 or 4 Hispanic women when I started, and when I left, I think we were 35. The thing about working in PR is that you're counseling your clients on how best to communicate with consumers, and it's very difficult to do that if you don't have a very good and strong understanding of consumer mindsets, and that includes diversity. For me, it's definitely been creating that space and expanding it for the organization as well to benefit them.
Was it challenging for you in a male-dominated industry once you became a mother?
Interestingly enough, I was already moved into the PR world. I don't know how much you know about beauty PR, but that's probably the most cutthroat PR there is.
Very tough.
I was also a single parent at the time, and a lot of the women that I worked with were young and did not have children. And I actually found that the women that I worked for made it more difficult than the men. And I was crying every day, all the way to work and then all the way home, and all the way to, and then I was like, nope, can't do this. So again, I quit. I did have money saved at that time. They always say save at least 3 to 4 months of salary. So I did have that, and luckily found an agency that would allow me to work from home. So then I worked from home for 2 years of his life. After all of that time, those women that I worked for had their own children and are still in PR, and each one of them have actually come up to me on separate occasions and said, I'm sorry, like, I had no idea it was this hard.
I mean, look at what you've done in your career, somebody who's been in the 40 under 40, you've had a lot of great success. Where do you feel that women need to tap into to find the confidence to achieve the success that we're looking for?
I think that whenever we go into a room or a situation where we don't feel confident, it's because you don't feel like you know everything you need to know. What I always try to do is be as prepared as possible. Take every opportunity as a learning opportunity. If someone asks me, can you do something? Most of the time I'll say yes. Do what you need to do to get to a place where the work speaks for itself afterwards, and then you'll be asked again.
Basically bet on yourself that you're gonna get there.
Yes.
You're gonna get to the next level and just do the work. Sabrina, I am so impressed by your career so far. I will tell you, I am 100% betting on you.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate that.
For me, the big takeaway from Sabrina's interview was that if you have confidence in yourself, the fear is completely gone. No matter what choices you make, if you're betting on yourself, you know that you can't lose. On the next episode of Work It.
Just have that moment to reflect and stop and pause, and it's so difficult to stop and pause these days.